recording.
Oh, man.
Alrighty. Welcome back to the Chicago Shoot the Shit podcast. I'm Steven Leitner, and I'm joined by Blake Grantham, Devin Spellman, and Brad Leitner. And today, we're doing a tier maker list of the newly released Adidas Reverse Retro series in the NHL. I think it's kind of like a cool addition that they're adding, trying to get more jerseys into the league. I think a lot of teams have potential for new jerseys, as we're going to find out today, which ones we think are the best. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts initially off the release of these jerseys?
They're fire.
Did you guys like them?
Yeah.
A lot of mismatched colors, I'm noticing. The Devils are green. We've got red on the Blues jerseys. We've got, I can't even tell whose jersey. The Avs got a lot of red. Some of these I can't even tell whose team they're for.
I got some definite awesome input, and that is just like that straight fire on a lot of these unis, man. I love them.
Some of them are really bad, though.
Some of them are pretty bad, but there's the ones that are really good. Like they're either really good or really bad. I'll say that. There's no in between here.
All right, I'll get started off. We'll start off with the Blues jersey here.
Gross.
I'm going to start off putting this in a B.
Ooh.
I think I like the whole concept is reverse retro. So their old like 90s one had the blue crust and then like the little red stripe where the blue is. I like they hit the idea of reverse retro of just it being reversed colors. I think they had that spot on. And I mean, for just in general, I think it's kind of like a nice blend of colors together. Like I like that it's flipped. I don't know, like, do you guys agree with it being a B? Would you want to see it higher or lower?
I would like to see it a step higher than A. I love the St. Louis Blues retro, at least that one in particular that they have. For some weird reason, I've always been a fan of some of especially the 90s. Obviously, that's a little biased being a 90s kid, but I think they're slick looking.
All right,
anyone else has
we'll
to
do a vote. Devin or Blake, you guys want to move it up to an A, or what do you think?
I want it off the list, personally.
Yeah,
I can't stand it.
I think it looks ugly as fuck.
That's certainly going against their own team name.
Yeah.
It looks like the Blackhawks and Blues jerseys had a baby, and that's what came out.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of like some McDonald's type shit. I don't know. That's the vibe I get it from.
No, you should
I can sit in the yellow, but
red/blue team.
I mean, they followed the
excuse
concept
me.
of it, but
No, you're right. They did.
right.
But I just think it's ugly.
All right, Brad, we'll put you next. The New York Islanders jersey.
The New York Islanders jersey. I actually personally do. I actually did like these more so than I did even their current uniforms. I thought they had a little more. I would probably rank them as a B.
Oh,
Again.
fuck no.
No, you're not a fan of them either. A B or a C
What did they do?
for me.
They didn't do anything. That's literally their jersey, the same thing as it is, except for it's a darker blue.
No, because if you look back at their retros from before the 20 teens, this was their uniform, and I kind of like these unis versus what they currently have because they switched colors. They went from navy to the regular blue, and I actually was more of a fan of this style than what they had what they have currently. So I'm not saying they're the best unis, but I do think they're better than what they actually currently wear. So I put B middle pack.
I think they're C because this is supposed to be reverse retro. They could have brought back the Fisherman. They had the perfect opportunity to bring back the Fisherman, and they didn't. They dropped it, dude. They get just it's so bland and boring. It's pretty much the same thing that they already have. That's not like a reverse retro to me.
Okay.
I'd say a C too. I agree with you. I agree with both of you. I do like them, but like
it's a nice looking jersey. But
yeah, if they're supposed to be retro reverse, then it's like, yeah, they kind of missed.
I gotta say again, boys, I would not have the Islanders jersey on my list of these collection of jerseys. I think I agree with Steve and Blake that it looks just like their other jerseys, except they made it a little bit darker. So that's just my opinion. The jerseys themselves, not the worst I've ever seen, but they're just there's a little bit of creativity lacking there, in my non-expert opinion.
All right, so we knocked those down to a C. All right, Blake, next we got the New York Rangers.
You know, I'll put it at a B. I like it. I like the Statue of Liberty on the front. It's kind of plain, but then I kind of like it. You know, that's all I have to say, really.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm glad they brought back the Statue of Liberty. It is pretty plain, but when they played with those jerseys the other days, I don't know if you guys saw it. They actually looked pretty clean out on the ice.
Yeah.
I think they could have maybe got a little bit more creative.
Right.
But overall, just like the look of it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think a B is fair grade for that. I think the Statue of Liberty certainly looks better than just Rangers printed across the front. So I give definitely between a B and an A for me.
And just to follow everything up, I'm also going to agree with a B. Love the Liberty head, as what you guys are referring to. I do agree with Blake. I think they're a little dull and plain. I would have liked to see more, especially maybe with some colors involved there with red and white. But yeah, overall, pretty solid retro. I mean, New York Rangers unis have always been solid, so say B.
All right, Spelly, Ottawa Senators. What do you think of those?
Well, Stevie, I've got to say I'm going to go with A for this jersey. I think that compared to their original home jerseys, where you see dark and there's other colors, compared to this jersey stands out to me. It's got a different logo. It's got mostly red with some black in there. It looks like the numbers are even red on that jersey. I think that's filthy. I think they should use these jerseys over their original home jerseys if I were the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, I agree. I love these jerseys. I think they're clean, they're simple, and it kind of just it's like they're rebranded jerseys. I'm really glad that the Ottawa Senators rebranded from that like 3D like huge Senator print. I thought that was so fucking ugly. I'm glad they went back to like their 90s style. And I think that embodies a great like reverse retro. I like that they have the red inside the black piping there. I just think that's a great addition. And yeah, like you said, overall clean jersey. I have no problem with it being in an A.
The red fits much better than the red does on the Blues jersey, just in my opinion.
Oh,
there's actually
100%.
red in the Ottawa jersey.
Yeah, no, you would expect red to be on an Ottawa Senators jersey.
Exactly.
All right, so we got 2 votes for A, so I think it's set in A. Do you guys have any other objections for that?
Brad, go ahead.
Don't really have too many objections. I'll put it in an A perspective. I definitely agree with the logo. I think the logo's way sexier. I don't know the colors for the numbers and the name. That kind of makes a difference on the back. I can't tell if they are just red with like a black outline. It's too tough to see, but agree with them being pretty slick. So I'll leave it in an A.
I agree.
All right, next
is good.
All right, next we got the Philadelphia Flyers. I personally don't like these jerseys. I'm gonna have to put it in a C. I think the colors are great, but like the weird piping around the shoulders just seems really ugly and messy to me. It doesn't look very slick, and they don't really have a lot of jerseys to go off of in their history because it's pretty much been the same thing over time. But I don't know. I thought they could have maybe done black as their main color instead of orange, because it's kind of just the same thing that it's been like throughout their time, except for the black little shoulders that they put on. I don't think it's that great of a jersey in my opinion.
I think C's being very generous with that jersey, personally.
Wow, guys hating on the bland and boring look of a retro jersey. I don't know.
How is it retro? It's not retro. There's nothing retro about it.
Retro-ish elements into with the way the lines are curved around the shoulders and just the top part of the shoulder with the line. This little curvy thing, they just tied it in to be a little different. I don't know. I can see it being a C. I kind of like the jersey. It flirts between a B and a C for me. I don't think they're bad at all, actually.
Okay.
I agree with a C. I don't know. I don't like the shoulder and like how it like, you know. What I mean?
It just seems like a lot on the shoulder.
It
kind of just gives it like a weird vibe.
Plain.
Yeah, plain. Yeah.
Plain's not always bad, boys.
Well, we got the Rangers right there in B. Theirs is pretty plain.
That's what I'm saying.
And Ottawa's plain.
All right, Brad. Get the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh boy, the Pittsburgh. We have finally got ourselves. What do I put this? Can we tell if that writing is black?
It's yellow with a black outline.
So it's yellow with a black outline. Where do I put this? This has to be probably, I'm going to say a C at best, maybe even a D. in my opinion. I think this is a pretty poor effort at a retro jersey for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have some very cool old retro jerseys going back to their days of Mario Lemieux and some of their old heritage, and I don't know if they embodied any of that with this jersey. Maybe if they were to curve, like V'd the lines, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like the old 80s uniforms. This would be a sexier uniform, but the straight lines mixed in with whatever kind of color they're trying to put up, just a straight white and yellow with black outlines, I think is a terrible retro throwback for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I'll probably put it in D category if I'm being honest. It's pretty terrible.
Put me down for D as well. They've had much cooler jerseys. Even when they were winning cups back in the 80s, they were sporting much better jerseys than that.
This is the jerseys they were wearing in the 90s. Was the Pittsburgh going across? Like that's the jersey they wore in the 90s.
Yeah, but if you look at the way the lines were, it's not the same.
This is Lemieux and Yager era to a T. I would at least put it in a C. I'd probably put it higher than that, but I like it. I like the lettering that goes across. It's different. Pittsburgh usually doesn't do that. I mean, I agree that they could have done something better. Like it is kind of plain. I think it looks really clean though, but I think they could have done something like their Winter Classic jerseys, like back in 08, 09, kind of like something with the penguin with the scarf on it. I thought that looked sick. I thought they could have done something.
I think their logo belongs on the jersey. Their logo should be on that jersey. It's a good logo. I don't know why it's as if they took the Blackhawks logo off the Hawks jersey and just put Chicago across it. I just don't like it.
100%.
I do like the piping though on the side with the red or the yellow and the black there. It's kind of like curved, like a V shape. I think that looks pretty clean, but I would put a C. But it sounds like you guys are all in a D.
I would with you. Yeah. I'll put it at a C. We'll put a C minus.
All right. Well, that's a split vote, so I'll stay in D. All right, Blake, you get the good one here. Blackhawks. What you got?
I get the Hawks. I'll put it at like a B probably. To be honest, I like it, but I like their all black Winter Classic ones a little bit better. And obviously their white ones are crispy as shit. And yeah.
If there's one thing that I thought they should have added, so they did their Winter Classic jerseys and they had they had the stripe in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I thought they had the stripes on this one. I thought they could have piped it like a little better, like a nice red solid line. Let's keep it the same all along the jersey.
Yeah.
And on the bottom, it's just kind of like a red stripe. Like, where's the white piping that you had like on all the other red parts?
The only thing I don't like about this is I don't know, the red shoulders is where they kind of lose me.
It is a very weird addition. It just looks like a red block. It looks like an NHL 21 created jersey type thing.
Hey, that's what they might have done.
Looks like they kind of submitted it like 10 minutes before.
I think that it looks like they've got some banners there on the sleeves on the elbow area.
Yeah.
I agree with B for that. I think that they certainly could have done more with it, but definitely not the worst that I've seen.
It's hard to mess up a Blackhawks jersey. They all are pretty slick looking, and I think it's just something really hard to mess up.
Especially with that logo. I mean, come on.
Oh man,
I like how they went back to the old the old ones, like the old Winter Classic logo, like way back in the 30s, where it says Chicago on the bottom and Blackhawks on the top. I think that logo will always do well.
Agreed.
Yep, I'm agreeing with most of what was said already. I agree with the fact that I think they just tried to rush it in before the time expired on their deadline there, if I'm being honest with you. It looks pretty blotched. I think I might even consider this to be a C in my eyes. I definitely think they could have done better. Not enough detail. I don't think they have anything on the shoulders. There's nothing as far as maybe some feathers or maybe even the tomahawks or something to kind of go along with it. I know it's a retro, but the Blackhawks uniform it's been very it's stayed the same through the course of history since they've been an organization, and to not have some of those other small details on there and then have just a lot of black and some weird blocks of red, they could have done better with that uniform. So I got C, but I guess we'll consider it to be a B minus.
All right, so you got the Colorado Avalanche.
All right, you guys, now bear with me on this one. I'm going to
shoot it down.
This Avs jersey, I'm going to put in the S category for super
Thank
thick.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. If this was lower than an A, I'd have shit myself.
This logo with the white, the fleur-de-lis at the bottom, I think really, really make it stand out. Even though the fleur-de-lis have nothing to do with the logo itself, it makes the jersey look that much better. I like how they kept it all white all the way through the shoulder area. It looks like a very, very clean jersey, in my opinion.
I love that they did this and they brought the Avalanche color into the Nordiques logo, because everybody like wanted them to always bring the Nordiques logo, and they never did. Like, obviously a different team, but like that's like where they came from, and I'm glad they kind of didn't just bring the jersey back like the Carolina Hurricanes have done with their like the Hartford Whalers. Mm-hmm. They kind of put their own spin on it and they added in their colors to it. I think it's a really good idea. I'm glad they did that. I think it's great for a reverse retro jersey, and then every Avs fan that wanted them to bring it back is probably pretty happy with what they got.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that these jerseys over their original, again, I said that about Ottawa's, but I think these look much better than the ones that they use on a daily. You got to remember the reverse of these is the baby powder blue for the home jerseys, where it's mostly like a light blue color. Those look fantastic, and they got the same maroon fleur-de-lis and logo on those too. So those are definitely in my top echelon.
You boys agree with that?
I 100% agree with it. I just think, Steve, to your point of like them putting their own twist on it, they never really had to put their own twist on it. They've had the same colors since they moved from Quebec to Colorado, and I just think it's cool. But like you said,
they were never blue and white.
They were never white and maroon. They were always white and blue with the speck of maroon in there, and it's cool that they just kind of flipped the colors a little bit and made it more white and maroon. You can see the blue little puck that's supposed to be on the top of that logo there. I just love. Everyone obviously loves the Nordique jerseys, but yeah, to have a twist on top of it with the changing of colors, it still just looks beautiful, stunning.
I'm just gonna say they're nasty.
All right, next we got the Columbus Blue Jackets. Honestly, I don't really even know what to kind of make of these. I'm gonna put it in a C for now. I mean, I like that they kind of went back to the early, they don't have many jerseys in their history, but I like that they kind of went back to the early 2000s. They're trying to do something with that, but it kind of just seems very disorganized and mumbled jumbled. Like I don't like the blue shoulders going all the way down through the arms, and like there's kind of like a random piping at the bottom. It just seems kind of misorganized, but I like that they tried to bring back the logo, but other than that, I don't like that jersey too much.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I would have liked to see more of their blue incorporated somehow again. With the Blues jersey, they're overdoing it on the red. I think I don't ever like their original jerseys. Don't have, maybe they do have a little bit of red in them, but they're really going all out red here, and it's just not Columbus's identity. I think their identity is that dark blue color that we.
I think their idea is just trying to, since it's called reverse retro, is kind of flipping different color into their main color, like kind of like what the Blues did. A lot of teams didn't follow the reverse retro. I'm kind of confused why it's called reverse retro when a lot of teams didn't really switch anything.
Right, like the Flyer and Islander jerseys. The red is just not Columbus, in my opinion. I just don't think of Columbus when I think of red, and there's a lot of teams that already do the red. Like that's why I just like it doesn't seem too original. I would have liked to see more blue involved.
Brad?
Yeah, I mean, we do have to, and it's a great point that Steven made. This is a reverse retro, after all. I love the old logo. Definitely better than the current logo that they have. Well, I agree that the red is just kind of like a lot to look at. I mean, they were one of the teams that looks like they actually flipped their colors. So I think it's actually a B, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think it's an ugly jersey.
I agree with C. I think it's ugly.
They should have done like the Hornet or something, like the Blue Jacket Hornet or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been kind of cool to bring back, but
yep.
Other than that, all right, Blake.
I thought it was
Brad. Brad, yeah.
Brad.
Dallas Stars, what you got?
Goodness, I got this one. This has to be. Oh, screw it! I'm going S.
Bold
They
strategy.
are hot. hot, man. Holy shit!
S?
Look at him. It is straight white heat, as people would call it. I know too much white can be a little overboard sometimes, but they have to be A or S. I putting them at S right now. Yeah, they're downright sexy, if I'm being honest with you. Just the way the detail, even the way they incorporated the star logo in the uniform, like, or on the jersey, that's hot. That is very hot.
I like them too. I'll probably put them at an A.
Yeah,
maybe A or B for me. I do like them.
Wow.
I put them at a B tops.
Really? You don't like
Wow,
them?
Steven, you don't like him at all? Really? You're going to tell me that doesn't look good?
I think an S is pushing it because I can name at least 5 of the jerseys that I think are better than that.
Well, we're not organized and making a ranking system. We're organized about what we think of the uniform. So
I think it belongs in the A category. Personally, I would have liked to see a North Star in there somewhere from like the Minnesota days. But I think it's a nice jersey. I really do like how they incorporated that that border star on the white. But I gotta agree that it's either an A or maybe a B for me. But I'd have it in the A category. I think it's top.
I'll agree with an A since I was not sure if it'd be A or S. I kind of just went S, but I'll agree with an A.
All right, we're knocking that one down.
For sure.
B,
right,
not a chance.
What you got with the San Jose Sharks?
San Jose. You know what? Man, this is kind of tough. I do like them, so it's like a B or an A. I guess I'll leave it up to what everybody else. I'll say a B or an A, like A minus, because I do like them. I like how it's like gray in the middle, and you got some like stripes coming down on the sleeves. I think that's pretty sick.
I like them too. I think they're a good B category jersey. I do like the gray, and they kind of do have I like the angled piping on the side, and it has like their nice, teal colors, and it's different from what they've had in their past. Usually, and it's kind of like their early 2000-esque jerseys. I agree. I think they're a B. I think they're a nice jersey.
I think they're between a B and a C. I like the gray. I don't know if I'd feature gray as the main color there, but I think they're definitely not ugly jerseys by any stretch. I think between B and a C is fair.
I agree with Blake. I'm going to keep it at B. I do like it. I love how they kept their, I guess, call it their 90s theme of the way they got the stripes on the shoulders or the sleeves. Of course, gray is not the best color for a uniform in any sport, but since it's a reverse, I'm willing to accept that for this jersey. So yeah, I'll keep it at a B.
All right, Devin, you got the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, give me a D for that one, please. That's an easy one. I appreciate how they took all of the red out of their jersey. I don't think that there's even a logo on their jersey, but I think that it's just white with the red Detroit logo. I mean, come on. This is an original 6 franchise. I get that they've never had any other logo, as far as I know. Maybe as anyone can correct me on that, but. The Detroit needs to do something besides red and white. I mean, goodness gracious, that is just that looks like a drink of water, in my opinion. Not a whole lot going on.
That's a fucking eyesore, and that's an insult to Detroit fans. Like, if you're the team and you're coming out with that looks like a practice jersey.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like a practice jersey.
So ugly. Like, we said the Blackhawks did it 10 minutes before it came out. That was like a minute before it came out. Like, there's no creativity. There's no retro into it. You could at least maybe take their like Winter Classic jerseys from like maybe when they played the Blackhawks or the Maple Leafs and like reverse that somehow. I think you can find a way to be way more creative than that piece of garbage. That's ugly as shit.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more with you guys. It's a little difficult. I could see it on their side of things where, like Devin, they literally have not had this different logo, a different style of uniform. They're only been a two-tone, two-color team, red and white. That's it. So if you're making a reverse retro for this team, that's got to be impossible. Like, first off,
they just put gray piping on the fucking sides. Like, what is that?
What do you mean gray piping? Is that gray at the bottom? I can't tell.
It's gray on the bottom and gray on the.
You sure it's just a shadow? Because I don't see gray on the shoulders.
I think this is a jersey where they could have put Detroit across the front instead of just using the logo.
Like I said, like the Winter Classic jersey.
What's Detroit across. That one, I like the one jersey where they had the Detroit D on it with the red block stripe across behind the D. I actually think that would have been a sick reverse retro to go with here, but yeah, I don't like their choice or what they did, so I'll leave it a D for sure. That's even generous.
Alrighty, and then we got the Edmonton Oilers. I was in between A or B on this one, and I want to say B, just because I thought they could have done so much better with this. I thought this is a good opportunity to maybe bring back the oil drop. I thought that'd be a sick for a reverse retro. I don't know if you guys remember the old oil drop back in the mid 2000s. I thought that would be kind of a sick thing to do because this just looks like their away jersey. It doesn't look anything different than what they've had before. I don't see any difference. It's just a regular Oilers jersey with orange shoulders. I don't see anything. Overall, the jersey looks clean, but it's nothing that we haven't seen before.
I agree. I think that assessment is perfect. It's not as creative as I'd like it to be, but overall, the orange and the is that a blue color? It looks like it ties in really well. I think the colors work well with each other, but on creativity scale, I give it about a 1 out of 10. So that's why I keep it at a B.
I'll probably put it at A. I think these things are sharp looking. They're clean. I like them.
I love it, Blake. I love to hear it. I'm going A as well. I think yes, we understand the creativity might not be what everyone else is looking for here, but Edmonton is an older franchise. They've been around for a while. They've established themselves, especially in the 80s with these style uniforms. And to flip the colors, I love the orange shoulders. Holy crap, that is fire with the way the white and orange pops. Even though I know they just flipped the colors around, I got to give it an A.
B plus.
All right, Brad, you got the Anaheim Ducks.
Holy smokes. What am I even looking at here? Like, it's difficult to see the logo. I can't remember off the top of my head how it looks. You might have to excuse me for a second while I pull it up, honestly, because...
It's a duck with a hockey stick.
It's a duck with a hockey stick?
It's jumping out of the water.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck is that? Like, what is that? Like, I might have to say a D on this one. You know, I'm going to give him a D on this one, only because you have the best, probably the best uniform in hockey, or if not top 3 for sure, in a reverse retro, bringing back the Anaheim Ducks or the actual Ducks like uniform from the Mighty Ducks and put that on a jersey. Like, I get
done a Mighty Ducks before.
Well, we understand that, but if you're going to do a reverse retro, man, like, this was never a logo on their uniform. So what are you like? I guess referring back to in this one? You just kind of mashed it together and put on a jersey to be different, and it's hideous. So, I mean, if you're not throwing it back to history and you're just trying to make new history, that's ugly, man.
I mean, look at the Islanders; they didn't do anything different. In terms of creativity, I think they did anything different than a bunch of other teams.
Okay, but there's also a fine balance of, like, if you try something new, and it doesn't pan out, where does that land you? Like, this, they flopped hard on this one, in my opinion. Like, it's pretty downright ugly, putrid. Honestly,
I'm a little bit on the other end of the spectrum. I think this is between an A or a B for me. I really like the colors that they do. The original logo, the original Ducks logo did look something similar to that. The colors, no, not so much, but I agree with Brad. I would like to see the Mighty Ducks logo. Everyone wants to see the Mighty Ducks logo on one of these jerseys. But for these particular jerseys, I don't think that they're very ugly. I think that they belong between an A and a B for me. I think that they certainly could have done much worse with that.
I will say, just to add on before as someone else goes, I did get to finish. I do like the lettering styling of for the letters and the numbers. I think they did a fantastic job throwing it back the way they got the curvy numbers and lines on that for that jersey. So the one positive I'll throw out there with it, I guess.
I kind of like them. I think I would put them at, like, with Devin, like a B or a C.
All right, well, since we all voted up, then we're moving that to C.
Agreed.
All right, Blake, you got the Florida Panthers.
You know what, man? I fuck with these a lot. I'll probably put them at a S. I don't know.
Yes, dude, I agree. I
fucking
love
fire.
these jerseys so much, dude. I think they're sick.
Yeah, I just like the sleeves and the bottom of the jersey with the white like triangle like stripes coming up, diagonal stripes. I mean,
oh, it's so crisp. I love the shoulders. I like the piping, like you said, on the bottom and on the sleeves, and it just pops.
Right.
Like pops more than what they used to have, and I think that's perfect for a reverse retro.
Well, like
jersey.
Devin always said, I think these are better than their actual jerseys, like home jerseys.
I think so
they should
too.
use these instead of the ones
I'm right there with you guys. A or S for me. These are very clean. These have a lot going on in them, but they don't look messy. They look sick. They look absolutely sick. They should use these instead of their original jerseys.
Yeah, I'll second that as well. I can't decide if it's A or an S for me either. I'm not fully on board with the S, but they are very, very sexy looking jerseys. And they for sure should use these over their main uniforms because I can't stand their current uniforms right now. They're just terrible. They're hideous. So yeah, I can leave it an S or an A. But
all right, Spelly, you get the Arizona Coyotes.
For this one, you guys, I'm gonna have to put this one at an S. I love the purple. I love what they did at the bottom of the jersey. It's not like a straight line. It's kind of like a gold bleeding up into it. The logo, I like that better than the original Coyote. That's just kind of howling, and the red that goes with that. I think these look fantastic. I would maybe put them at an A, but I think S just because of how they did the bottom and the sleeves. I think the gold and the purple were matched really well together. And the logo's not overbearing. It's just a nice little logo right there in the center. The Ducks logo is a little bit. It looks like it's kind of big for the jersey, so that's why I would agree with that being at a B or C. But this one I think fits very well.
I love these jerseys. This is the Kachina. They're bringing the Kachina back, but it's not like the old, like the green and the red ones. Like they brought back the desert-esque feel. They have the desert on the bottom with like the cactus and like the ruggedness of the desert, and then you got like the purple for like I don't know if that's supposed to be like the night sky, but I think it looks sweet. You're bringing back the essence of the Arizona Coyotes. I think they hit it out of the park with these, and it's something that I don't think anybody was really expecting with like a purple color, but they really made it work. They brought that out and they really made it work.
Yeah, I think these are S. These are fire for sure.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet as well. I absolutely fire S as well. Another jersey, I love the 90s retro once again, especially out of the Coyotes because they were such awesome uniforms back in those days. I just kind of wonder once another team why they had to change the uniform when they looked this darn good. But yeah, S.
All right, next we got the LA Kings, and I'm gonna put these in S. I was debating between A or S, but I had to put them in S.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love these. So
glorious.
They took the colors of like their original starting era, the '60s. They were always orange. They were always yellow and purple, but they also incorporated the Gretzky era of the '90s. So they put the '90s logo with the '60s era, and they combine the two. And I think it just makes for a perfect reverse retro. It's everything that you want. I think they hit it out of the park. And just having Lakers colors in it with everything that's gone on in LA recently with Kobe Bryant, I think that's also a great thing to have for the hockey team there. Love it. I think they did great on this.
I have no arguments here, especially because of that Lakers point that you made, Steven. I mean, that screams LA to me. Those are LA jerseys. The logo is great. The colors are fantastic. The laces coming down from the middle ties it all in really well. A+ for me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've always loved the gold and purple look. Obviously, they're just copying the.
We lost.
We lost Steven, man. Shit. Well, we'll get him back in here. Cut it out, trim it out. I was getting to a good point.
I agree they're S too, though. I think they're fucking fire.
Yeah, they're for sure fire. I wish they would wear them a little bit more.
Right.
I also kind of wish that the LA Kings would kind of incorporate some more color in their uniform on a,
like
I guess
a
daily basis. Yeah, they don't have the black and white thing is kind of weird. I mean,
they used to have the blue. You used to have the blue or like the purple in the early.
Well, they had the black and purple 2000s. There in the early mid 2000s, which I thought were beautiful uniforms too. But once they ditched color altogether, I was kind of like, that's kind of boring. But hey,
I wonder why you stay away from purple. I think purple looks great on a hockey uniform.
I do. I think it looks sexy.
I mean, no team has purple except for what the Kings had.
Right. Well, that's their main color, though. You know, like who's got purple color?
So, no one.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet if any of those were full-time jersey. All right, Brad, you got the Minnesota Wild next.
I'm glad. While I have to say I've never entirely been truly a fan of their logo. I give them mad props for trying to throw it back to the Minnesota North Stars with those beautiful colors. I think I'm going to have to go with A on this one. I'm a fan of the uniform. Like I said, I get it. It's kind of traditional with the way they had the lines, the stripes on the jersey, but I love the whole reverse thing back to the North Stars when they were still in Minnesota, and I kind of wish they still had. I wish they had maybe changed the logo or used a different logo, but I think they're a solid uniform. So, go an A.
I agree. I like them, and I usually, for some reason, I don't really like yellow in anything, but I like these. I think it's a nice little blend. It feels Minnesota-y, if that's a fucking thing.
Yeah, I actually would even give this an S personally. I think the gold and the light green, they kind of put gold in the middle of that logo, of the Minnesota Wild logo. Mm-hmm. I think those are great. I would give S or A for sure.
I would have liked if they brought back like the North Star logo. I like them trying to do something different by adding the North Star colors into like the Wild colors. But like, I think maybe putting like a patch of like the original N would be cool to pay more homage to like the Minnesota North Stars. And I also saw a picture online of the Subway logo replacing the Wild logo, and I can't unsee that. It looks like a Subway jersey.
That's hysterical. I can totally see that. You just ruined the uniform boy. Put them in a D. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do like that. It'd be kind of cool if they did like you just said, instead of doing maybe the N for North Stars, if they did the W instead and made it the same colors. That would have been a cool little detail. But yeah, all in all, solid uni.
All right, Blake, you got the Boston Bruins.
You know, I don't really like them. I would put them at like a C, tops, probably a C. I don't know. I just don't like yellow. They kind of remind me of like wannabe Nashville jerseys.
Yeah, I can't really tell what the logo they got on there is. If
I think it's
the
just
old,
a B, right?
There's the crack bear on the patches on the shoulders.
I want to see that bear on like the actual logo. I think that'd be cool. I would have liked.
That's what I would want to see too. I agree. I think they should have put the whole thing as the crack bear or whatever they call it as the main logo. But I'm glad they at least brought it back, like at least on their patches. I think it's different with the sense that it's all like gold or yellow. I kind of like that. I thought they could have done something a little bit more creative. I'd at least put the jersey in a B. I think overall it's a pretty clean jersey.
C or B for me, definitely.
I'm falling in the same category. I could see it being a C because I'm like Blake. If you got just straight yellow, it's a little much in the eyes, and it's like looking at mustard. I mean, on a uniform, it's not the best. So,
gold.
But obviously that being the reverse color of Boston and like them kind of keeping the same details, like I could see it kind of maybe flirting with a B, but I'm okay with a C.
All right, Devin, you got the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, for these, I do really like the blue rather than the red being the featured color. I like how they kept some of the red and did that stripe across the middle. For me, I got this in a B category. There's so many other ways you can make a Canadiens jersey really cool, whether it be putting Montreal across the logo and taking the C out completely or whatever. But good overall jerseys. Solid. I give them a B though. There's nothing too outstanding about them, but I think they're a clean jersey overall.
There's not much in their history. They've had the same jersey their entire existence, like more so than the Red Wings because they've had Winter Classic jerseys. The Canadiens have always been this jersey, haven't switched it once. So even making this minor change, I think is a big deal, and I think they did great flipping the colors. I love that they did that. I think they really did well with this. I mean, it's not much different in terms of creativity, like you said, Devin, but for the Montreal Canadiens and what they can do without pissing off their fan base, I think they did a great job. I think a lot of people are going to like this jersey. I think they did great. I would at least put it in an A.
I would put it at A too. I think, like you said, they're supposed to be like reverse, so they kind of got that, going for them. I would put them at A. I think they look crisp. And the other night, or the first game that they wore them this year, man, I was like, man, those things pop out there on the ice.
They were looking sick out there.
Yeah, I do like the blue. I could see it being an A as well. I kind of flirt between a B and an A myself, but I do think the way, like we just discussed, they incorporated the retro vibe with the blue color. I could put it in an A. So.
All right, we'll slide that up to an A. All right, next we got the Buffalo Sabres. And I'm going to put these at a B just because I don't think they're on the tier of the other ones that are an A, but I also think they're among the best in B. I think they did a good job with these jerseys. I like the old sword, but they kind of got the early 2000s vibes when they were red and they had the bison. Now there's an argument that they should have had the bison as the main part, but they should have thrown the bison on there. Like, regardless, I thought that if they were going to do a reverse retro, they should have done that. But overall, I mean, I like that they have the buffalo and the piping at the bottom. I know maybe not a lot of people like that, but I think that's a good touch. And, I mean, overall, color scheme looks well. It's kind of what they have now. I thought it would have been maybe better if they went back to their, yellow and black color scheme. But overall, I think it's a B.
Yeah, I agree. I keep it at a B. I really do miss the old black, red, and white Buffalo jerseys. The old black ones were really cool in my opinion, and including that logo. But overall, that jersey looks pretty nice. I say it deserves a B.
I'm not trying to go against anyone in here, but I'm for sure thinking this is a solid A, if not maybe even an S for me. I think these uniforms are beautiful. I think it incorporates everything of what I think is the best part of their uniform, and they kind of mashed it all together. I love the swords as their retro logo, or third alternate logo on the uniform.
They have the swords as every logo. Like, every logo they've had are usually, like, at least lately, are swords.
Yeah, that's I mean, not always. Their other reverse retro was the buffalo on it, with the white ones, and the navy. But like, this one has the old retro early 2000s swords put on it with the buffalo in the banner, or I guess the stripes in the bottom. I think that is a great touch. If I'm not mistaken, they had a uniform just like this as a third alternate back from those days.
Yeah, they had a red and black one, but I'm pretty sure they had the bison incorporated on it.
I thought there was one with the swords with the buffalo and the stripe, but either way, I just think this is just kind of embodies everything that's great about their colors and their uniform. Yeah, for sure A, maybe even like leaning on an S. So I think they're beautiful.
I agree with Devin and Steven here. I think it's a B for me. I don't know, it just doesn't really do nothing for me. It doesn't get the engine going, you know what I'm saying?
All right, Brad, you got the Nashville Predators.
Ooh. I am gonna have to lean on. I'm gonna have to lean on a B for me. It's just very. I mean, Nashville's uniform for sure it looks just like their normal uniform, like the last handful of years. It's because of the reason why it's a B for me is I know what I said about yellow from before, but I've never really been. It's never been off-putting to me with the way the cleanliness of it, with just the yellow down, no lines on the bottom or stripes on the bottom, but the clean white line down the sleeve, and it's just it's a overall clean-looking jersey, and the white blends with it pretty well, as long as like I said, it's not cut up entirely like crazy. So I think it's a clean-looking uniform, and I never really had a problem with Nashville's like crazy, their yellow. The other yellow jerseys were too much, but I don't mind these actually. So I'll give them a B on this one.
I give this either a C or a D. I don't like these. I don't like the white piping all around the arms and shoulders, and it kind of closes off in a V. I think that looks awful. I thought they should have done something like way back in the 2010s where they had the blue alternate jerseys. I thought they could have maybe incorporated something like that. Or even like the old Predators logo. I thought they just kept it pretty basic and kind of something that they already have. I thought they could have been way more creative with having the same logo, the same main color. The only thing that they added was that weird piping on the side, and I think it looks awful. I think they let a lot be desired with the jersey.
I got a C for me too. They look pretty good, but I just there's not a whole lot that changed in that uni, so I got it at between a B and a C.
C for me.
Yeah.
All right,
moving down. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we got the Calgary Flames.
Whose turn is it?
Your turn, Blake.
I'm putting these at a fucking S, bro. I think these are fire. The dragon with the flames coming out of his nose, and I like the yellow and red and black little stripes at the bottom there. I don't know. When I first saw these, I was like, man, these are the coolest jerseys I've seen in a while.
Oh, I love these jerseys. I agree. Blasty, as they call them.
Oh.
Perfect. I'm glad they're bringing him back. I love, like you said, I love just like the fire coming out of his nose. I believe he's a horse, but I'm not 100% sure. But overall, like a clean look. Like I love the white numbers and captain patch with the red outlines, and I like the little V piping with the red and yellow. I think it looks great. I got no problems with that jersey. I love that their jersey's black too, because they've had red as their main color all the time. So I'm glad they switched that to black.
Yeah, A or S for me, definitely. Those are very creative. I love that they brought that logo back. They used to have that back in the day. The striping at the bottom with how it's kind of almost like a boomerang shape. I love that. Sharp jerseys, A or S for me.
Definitely going S. Solid, like the black. Oh my goodness, like I love black in uniforms. And yeah, obviously the logo, the flames at the bottom going along with the logo. Definitely an S for sure, no doubt.
All right, Spella, you got the New Jersey Devils.
You guys already know where I'm going with this one. Put it in the trash bin at D. Green does not belong in a Devils uniform.
Oh god,
I cringe just even at the thought of that. I don't know whose idea that was, but green does not belong in a New Jersey Devils uniform. I would have liked to see maybe black in there, something that's not green. Certainly not blue or green. It's a red jersey. I'm not a fan.
This is like their 70s or 80s thing, because that's like where they're getting it from, because they had green in their jerseys back in the day. I don't know why. It's kind of like a random color. But, I mean, in terms of reverse retro, I think they hit that on. Like, they're adding in the green. I don't know how different they are from those jerseys back in the day, but I think they look all right. I would put it at least a C.
Yeah, I would put it at a C. It looks like they would use them like if it was like they played on Christmas Day or some shit. You know what I mean? I get like a Christmas Day
vibe.
Unis. Yeah, I get a Christmas vibe.
Use them once a year.
I'm gonna continue the train. I could see C. I'm gonna agree with Devin though. I have no idea, and I understand they're basing off retros. I have no idea in God's name why they ever put green with red for their uniform colors. It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know if they were high or drunk when they made that decision, but no way in hell should green ever be in the Jersey Devils uniform. But I mean, yeah, if they would have made it red or black, they would have just kind of been the same thing as what they had before. So I'll give them the creativity of going back to a different time. So I'll go C.
All right, so we got Devils and C. All right, next we got the Hartford Whalers. I would put this at a B, but since they have the Whalers logo in it, it has to at least be an A. And I think what keeps this from being an S is that they've already brought back the Whalers jersey. They're just making it the away Whalers jersey. I know they don't have much to go off of, but like this isn't something that they've already brought back. But overall, I think the jersey this is why it's an A. I love the gray. It looks well with the Whalers. I'm glad that they brought back the little sperm whale or whatever it was and put that on the patches. I think that looks sweet. I like that they have like the little pointed edges on the sleeves. So overall, I think it's a nice jersey. It's not something that they haven't brought out before with the Whalers.
Devin?
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked to see another tint of something in there besides the light green and white. I think that the Whalers jersey works well. That's why I would put it at an A automatically. I do really miss those jerseys. The Whalers had some really nice jerseys. Them and the Golden Seals, if you guys remember them back in the day. So I keep it at an A. Like I said, like Steven said, though, I would have liked to see a little bit of a change because they have brought those jerseys back for the Hurricanes before. So I say keep it at an A though. The Hartford Whalers just had the best unis.
You can't beat that logo. That logo is iconic.
Completely agree.
Brad.
I have to obviously agree with everything so far. I would say A, just because it is the Hartford Whalers, and all I did was flip it, like I said, to the colors, to the away. Obviously, a very sexy and awesome uniform. I wouldn't even really mind it, honestly, if they would have thrown it back to their Stanley Cup days with the flag. I understand that's been a third alternate in the past before, and just kind of mix and match those colors a little bit. I think I actually would have preferred that. I mean, it's not that this isn't overly used, but they're just kind of playing the 85 Bears and kind of beating on the same bandwagon over and over again, because that's like the only retro they have going back. I understand it's iconic, but they can use other parts. I think like I said, the other retro they could have went with from their Stanley Cup would have been cool too. So A's fine.
I agree with A. I think they look pretty clean.
All right, Brad, you got the Golden Knights.
And I get the Golden Knights. I'm gonna go with an A on this one. I feel. I think they're very sexy looking uniforms. Obviously, it's so difficult to make a retro uniform when your team just started 4 years ago. So they just kind of had to mash something together with the colors they had. Obviously, they went red. I think the red is a great color to go with in a uniform. I like the fact they kind of got the gold, I guess, stripes along the bottom for like the gold patches. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of these. I think the over part of it would be they're not really going off of any history here, which is difficult to say. And I just like the fact they used a different logo as well. I think I would have liked maybe a little more. I don't know about something different for design on the stripes, but yeah, I'll go A.
I'll probably put it at a B. The only thing, and the only reason why, I wish they would have put like some black something on the shoulder, have black shoulders on it. I think it's like too much red for me.
Yeah, I'll agree with that for sure.
I agree. I'd probably drop it down to a B. Like you said, they haven't had much. They don't have any history really, other than the past 4 years. I don't think they should have used red as their main color. I think they could have maybe used like more of the more gold or black, something like along those lines. I think maybe incorporating some red into your jersey would be nice, but I think they used a little too much. I like that they used their third or their alternate logo as the main logo. It's different than what they already have. Overall, I think it's a B. I think it's a pretty nice jersey.
Yeah, I would probably drop it back to a B just because I think it looks very similar to the Flames jerseys, only red instead of black. I think the originals look a little better than that. But overall, solid jersey. I don't mind the red so much in this one.
Alrighty, Blake, you got the Capitals.
I do like that logo on the chest. Man, I'll leave it up to the rest of you guys. For me, it's between a B or an A. I do like it, though, just because of the main logo.
I love these jerseys. I think they look sweet. I'd put this in an A. That's just my opinion for now. We can move it.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they went back to the first like the original OV days.
Right.
They did everything. They brought back the old eagle. I love the eagle, but they kept it with they didn't have the old colors. They kept it kind of with their more current colors. And I love the Capitals and just kind of like the motion that it goes across like the bottom. It goes with the eagle. I think these are just clean. I love them.
I can't even say enough about this, but this is a straight S for me. These are one of the sexiest uniforms I would say that are on this board. These, I don't know why they do it for me, but like bringing back the eagle logo, keeping the current colors, but still having that side little, I guess, angled stripe across the bottom with the Capitals, and the way they did the lettering and the retro kind of style numbers, it not out of the park. A grand slam. That's an S for sure for me. I'd buy a uniform or jersey.
All right, Scully, you got the Winnipeg Jets.
Winnipeg Jets for me. Give me an A for those unis. I love the black mixed with that blue there. I really do miss those jerseys, the old Winnipeg Jets jerseys. So I'm just going automatic A for these. I really do love that logo mixed with the black. What do you guys think?
At first, when they first came out, I wasn't the biggest fan because just like the color scheme really didn't make any sense for me. I was just, the gray and the gray didn't make a lot of sense because the original logo has like red in it. But I mean, once I saw those on the ice for the first time, I think they look really clean. I think you really have to see these jerseys like on like in person or on TV before you can really judge them. But I mean, once they were on, I agree. I think they're crisp. They did something different. I like the piping of the white really sticks out, and I really like that. Really makes it pop.
Agreed.
I would agree.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think the one reason why I would leave it at an A is because it's gray. I don't understand the gray, and any kind of when your gray is your main color in the jersey, it kind of just puts it off a little bit for me. So I think with what they had, I think they did it very well, a very good job. So I'll leave it. A is fine.
A is fine with me. Yeah, I think they're crisp.
All right, and I got the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm gonna have to say, I'll keep these in A as well. I love this jersey. It's back to the early 2000s days, the original cup, the original Stanley Cup in 04. I love that they just like the old classic logo. I like the thick white piping. I think it really pops, and yeah, great retro jersey. I think it embodies everything that you'd want in their jersey. So yeah.
Devin.
His freeze.
Is he frozen solid? Like, what's going on here? I was like, oh, he's just done.
All right, bro, what you got?
So I'm going B on this one just because it is essentially that same uniform. I mean, and it's a great jersey, don't get me wrong, but I mean the solid white, I like the little black stripe to kind of break it up a little more than just a solid white. And I don't know, like Tampa Bay is one of those teams, especially with their jersey, where it's like I was a big fan of the 2010s, like around this time where it was the black jersey instead of the blue. I would have liked more black in there, to be honest with you. I understand why they brought this one back, but yeah, I would have preferred like maybe some white and black, or with a little maybe even like blue outlining with this logo. But it's a solid jersey, so I go B.
Yeah, I could go either way, A or B, doesn't really matter. I do love that logo though, right in the chest. Like you said, that's throwback shit, mid-2000s. That's fire.
All right, Brad, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Can I just say one thing before, like, it's just on the podcast, maybe we'll get out there to somebody, but I wish to God that Tampa Bay would just change their damn colors already, because they need to figure something out with what they're doing over there.
What colors would you have them be?
I love the blue and white. Why can't they add a third color and make that like a lightning yellow, like almost a highlighter-ish yellow to go with it? I just don't get that. There's already a blue.
Weird with that.
Yeah, I feel
like a subtle detail where it's just like, instead of having like a black line or a little something, you just add a little yellow to it, and it for lightning, it just makes so much sense. It's clean, and there's already a blue and white team, and one of the most iconic teams is the original six is the Toronto Maple Leafs. So why are you copying them?
They don't have
those
black.
Small detail. Yeah, but Tampa hardly has. I mean, they got black, but I don't understand. Like they could have just done more with less. Think about this, Steven. You remember the Seals with their yellow and blue?
Yeah.
Fire. Just think about white, yellow,
They
and
had
blue
like
together.
a teal. They had like a really bright blue.
I mean, just like I said, think about if they had a nice blue to go. Like I said, you put a yellow with that, a white, blue, and yellow. Oh, jeez. That would be number one. Almost, that'd be in my top 3 for sure.
Right.
But anyway.
Brad, who you got? What you got? Where you putting it? Where you going with the Toronto, Brad?
Oh, now going with the other blue and white team, I would have to say that I like them, and I know that's kind of going back to the Red Wings thing where it's hard to do much when you just got the 2 colors. I think it's a little weird. I don't like the fact that in the Toronto Maple Leafs logo that the leaf is blue now instead of white. It's tough to say. It's such a bland jersey for me. I'm between a B and a C, if I'm being honest.
I got these in D.
I would put these at a C.
I'll put them at a C just because,
They're
like I said,
ugly.
Like
what do you
everything
really
said,
do with them?
Yeah, like everything you said, Brad. They're just like, I don't know, plain. I do like the white stripes coming down the sleeves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know.
And it looks like
bland.
they kind of got some white above like the jersey. I don't know if that's the guy's hoodie or something, but yeah, if they would have maybe just the white leaf would have made it a little
Looks like
better.
a poncho. It looks massive.
Yeah,
like
right. Yeah.
It just seems so for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know, one of the most iconic franchises. Like this is. I know it's like reverse retro, and it's like kind of like '80s Wendell Clark era, but like, ugh, those are ugly to me.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. I'll C's. I got it. I'll agree with C.
All right, Blake, you're the end one here
Last
with Canucks.
Man, I got these at S, man. I think they're fucking fire. I think they're crisp. I like the green on the shoulders. I just like that green color with that dark ass blue and that white stripe and the blue at the bottom. I really like these.
I like them. I think they're a nice jersey. I'd probably put them at a B. I do like they did have the old gradient-esque jerseys with the red. Overall, I think it's a nice crisp jersey. I just think it's kind of weird that they're choosing like that gradient kind of version to go back to. I know they've already done the one with the skate, but I think they could have maybe done something a little different. But overall, I think it's a nice jersey. I do like that they are using a darker blue in it.
I'm gonna agree with Blake. I love this jersey. I don't know if I put it. I'm teetering between A and S. I love the fact they kept the dark navy and that green. It just screams like that Northwest. And I kind of love that they'd see it. The reason why I could probably put this in S territory is because they were creative with it and they kind of developed something new where this isn't really like we haven't really seen this before in their uniforms. So while it is a throwback, they got the old colors, the logo, and they kind of mashed it with new era as well. Yeah, I like it a lot. So I could leave it S. I think they're sexy.
Alrighty, well, that has it with our list for the reverse retro jerseys. Is there anything else we kind of want to get into, boys, or anything else in your mind?
Not much. Kind of dead after football, you know.
You guys see Tom Brady? You guys see all the highlights of the parade today?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tom Brady's a legend, dude.
TV.
The dude came off the boat and he was swaying around, and he had a good guy. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Did you see him throw the Lombardi Trophy to Gronk and the other boat, dude?
Insane.
Oh yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Hey,
I love Tom in Tampa, honestly, though.
It's a vibe.
Because honestly, he was getting sick and tired of Belichick shit. He wasn't able to coach. Arians just like, yeah, I let him do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to go do that, I'll let him do it.
hey, it's the whole mantra of work hard, play harder type situation right there. Like that. That's awesome to see. It just lights everything up. I'm telling you that right now. It's awesome. Good for him. I'm jealous. Repeat? You think it's a repeat?
That's gonna be tough. He could.
I mean, Tampa's got a hell of a team, and they're not losing anybody next year. That's the scary part.
Did you see? There's rumors.
It's really starting to catch his stride.
Adrian Peterson wants to go down to Tampa to go get a ship too.
Oh man,
let's go.
I mean,
sweet.
That would be sweet, but they don't need a running back. What'd you say?
I said I don't think they're gonna have any cap issues. And Mike Evans said he doesn't want to, like, if he needs like restructure his contract, he's like, I'd rather just keep on winning than making more money.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I said, they're not even up against the cap.
They've got a great offensive line. Tom Brady threw 40 touchdowns as a 43-year-old. I wouldn't think that he would fall off that much if he's already performing this well into his 40s.
Right.
He's just got too many weapons. The team is too complete, dude. The defense is probably the top rush defense in the NFL.
All right, can I say this real quick? I think, myself included, I think everybody, especially the last half of the season, underrated the fuck out of Tampa Bay's defense. At least I know I did for sure.
I agree.
Those guys in the playoffs
those
were
are
insane. They were insane.
They went off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I knew they were good at the beginning of the season for sure. I mean, just the rush defense guys they had. Now, I'm not saying now the pass defense is okay, but their rush and pass defense, man, they are just solid.
I mean,
you got Shaq Barrett, you got JPP, you got Ndamukong Suh, like you got a bunch of guys.
Levante David, you can't forget Levante David. I still think one of the most underrated linebackers in football.
Dude, well, they said Mahomes ran 500 yards, like just running from those motherfuckers.
Run for his life.
Like holy shit.
It would have been interesting to see if he actually had a healthy offensive line. He wasn't getting any help whatsoever. Like, I think he played a decent game, but his receivers weren't catching anything.
They dropped
like that
everything.
Play, the guy hit him right in the helmet, and he dropped it. Dude. And then the guy had a tip pass. He could have caught it, and then it got intercepted. Like, he did not get any help whatsoever.
Dude,
I mean, what receivers
weird.
are doing that.
Yeah, Tyreek and Kelsey, I feel like lost that game for him. To be honest, those guys dropped a few passes that they should caught.
With all due respect to I mean, like, yes, I think Patrick Mahomes did everything he possibly could to at least keep his team in the game.
With a broken toe.
With a turf toe and
he's having surgery on it.
Yeah, all that stuff. But I mean, with all due respect to those guys dropping the balls, Tampa's defense was just stifling. Honestly, like they were contested. Both those passes they were contested on. So I mean,
I don't care. You catch that shit.
I mean, you got to catch that when it comes to if you're playing a Super Bowl.
If it hits you in the hands, if
it hits you in the face,
you got to catch. Yeah, I mean, it hits you in the face. You got to come down with that ball. But it was he was contested.
He didn't get any help. Whatsoever.
No, I mean he didn't. But hey, you win as a team, lose as a team,
but
Tom Brady just wins. So
yeah, what you're saying.
What you got to say about that debate, Steve?
If Tom Brady wins,
well, his teams were helping him win those games, Brett. It wasn't just Tom Brady.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady won it next year too, because I mean, look what he did. Look what happened this year. I mean, he went all road games through the playoffs besides Super Bowl, and he beat Drew Brees, Rodgers,
The only argument I can think to that is he didn't play these games in packed stadiums on the road. You can hear your line, you communicate as much as you want to. Mm-hmm. The only really challenge he had against was Green Bay, and they were out of the game for the most part, so the fans weren't even that rowdy to begin with. But I mean, I agree. I mean, that's still impressive, but when you're in an atmosphere where you can't hear and you can't communicate to your O-line, it makes it a completely different game.
You're right. 100%.
It makes it a different game. I still think it doesn't make that much of a difference to Mr. Ice in his veins, TB12. He's cold as ice, man. That's why he is who he is. Probably would have done it anyways. Just being honest.
It would have been interesting to see.
It would have been, but you just listed off the names there who he's still beating at 43, and it's pretty damn impressive. Granted, it's like I said, it's a team game, but I don't think Tampa gets to the Super Bowl and wins it without Tom Brady and their team this year.
I mean, they're not going to win. I mean, you kidding me? They were like a 9-7 team or like a 7-9 team last year. Obviously, quarterback makes honestly like
he's not even just a quarterback. He's their offensive coordinator. He's making all these calls at the line. He's their coach. Hell yeah, I talked about that.
He's the coach
on the phone the other day. Like he's literally coaching. So yeah, dude.
Here's the thing, though. That's like
he's nasty.
So you have a team that has a pretty all-around good team, but Jameis Winston is their quarterback, and they go out and get Tom Brady, and they fix that. Not many teams can pull something off like that, where they can just find the quarterback and automatically have success. That just makes me think, man, what if the Colts have a quarterback? Like, how good would they be if they had a guy like that, or if they at least got a good quarterback? Usually, you can't see a team get a guy in 1 year and all of a sudden start like contending.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But there are a couple of those teams out there where it's like, just like what the Rams did. I mean, we have to talk about how deep we think the Rams are now going to go. That they have Matthew Stafford, a true quarterback that can really be, I think, push that team and elevate them to the next level of really competing for the Super Bowl. They have to be a Super Bowl contender now. Same thing with the Colts.
I probably have the Rams as a contender right now for sure.
I think they're for sure on my list as far as who's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Tom should have signed with the fucking Bears. God damn it.
The Bears still would have done shit because Matt Nagy had been over there. I'm on the team. It's my team. It's offense is my baby, and I'm not giving up play calling. And
he gave up play calling this year.
Maybe that would have been a good idea. Maybe they would have ran freaking Nagy's dumbass out of the building.
No, honestly, I'm glad he didn't come here because this whole organization's a shit show. You can't be having the GOAT in a shit show organization like that.
Still would have bought that jersey.
You think the cast, dude? Honestly,
jersey.
I think the Bucks jerseys look crisp. Honestly,
I
like a
like
Brady
the
Bucks
Bucks,
jersey would be sweet. I love their jerseys.
Yeah,
I'm
a fan. Sweet. I'm definitely a fan. They kind of threw it back too, the old gray, red, white, or gray, red, and white.
The ones that they had with Winston were garbage.
Oh, they were terrible. I think it was that stretch. They wanted to puke looking at those things, man. Caught garbage. Well, maybe we should do NFL unis pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, we can do that. All right, well, I'm guessing that brings a wrap to this week's episode. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Okay.